Yes, and when you tell this, I was trying to also remember it's like some way in the path of humanity, we lost the real purpose of business, no, Dana? Because when the industrial revolution started, the aim of industrialize was to produce in a much bigger quantity for the masses, so it is cheaper, can achieve more people, and then can make life more comfortable for humanity. This was the idea of industrial revolution, to do more production for masses. Somehow, when they started to put some kind of policies, rules, and it was starting companies to become public, then it kind of changed to tell that they had to fulfill shareholder needs. And then it became just this somehow. And indeed, what happened, I believe, is that we just lost the purpose, because to fulfill shareholder needs is a part of it. It has to be there for sustainability, for people to want your company, to invest in your company. But they should want to invest in your company and your business, no, not because you are giving the biggest return than others, no matter what. But if you are able really to provide to the communities, to the masses, enough of your product or your service, and is adding value to society, communities, and this is bringing shareholder return, this should be a balance. Because I think that right now we have to go back to the real reason to have business, corporations, and even economy of the countries. Economy of the countries are just to give policies to support the nation to be more, to have more prosperity. It's not just to accumulate wealth, but to live well. But then we have to think in a whole again and come back. That's why I love what you told, that somehow we have to come back to our biggest why. Why are we here? So if we are business, in what business we are in, what is the value that I give, and how much this can impact society, communities positively, giving sustainability, and then of course all of the financial results will come. But in a way that you are creating an environment that everybody can feel the sustainability. Right, Dana?
Yes, absolutely. Both Newtonian science, which is about hard data, what you can see and touch and measure, and capitalism's value on maximizing profit and therefore shareholder return, shareholder value, had the consequence you said. It made being a business leader seem a very single-minded thing. Maximize my profits, well, however I have to do that, ignore anything that isn't relevant to that, and do it efficiently, and always focus on that bottom line. In saying, though, how single-minded and narrow vision that was, I want to say something to you and all those listening to us now that I was thinking about just last night. No responsible business leader is going to adopt, as a business leader, his main purpose to be to save the world and to give everybody a better life. If he did, he wouldn't be a very good business leader, and he would be better off to become a director of a global charity. Business does exist to make money. Business is the wealth creator of society. And among those who benefit from this wealth are a private company's shareholders. So all that quantum management is saying is, of course, think of your shareholders, of course, think of your profits, but don't let that be all you think about. Let your purpose become more broad and more inclusive, and see that you can make that profit, in fact, far more sustainably, and therefore better for your own company, by placing your leadership in the larger context of the good that wealth your company makes can do to your fellow human beings, to society, and to the planet. And I think that we really have to emphasize what I just said, because there is a lot of sarcastic sniping about the do-gooder gurus who are telling businessmen that their real job now is to save the planet. Their real job now is to save their companies, but to do so in a way that will also save the planet. And I don't know if you could find for this video an image of what I'm going to describe, but the traditional Chinese garden waterfall illustrates what I'm talking about. I'm having one built in my own back garden this weekend. The Chinese waterfall is first collected in a rock basin. And that rock basin symbolizes everything that the waterfall energy needs to keep for itself and its own recycling. But then this rock basin overflows because the waterfall keeps flowing. And that overflow water collects in the stream below and feeds the lotus plants and the carp fish and anything else that may be in the stream fed by the waterfall. And I think that is my image for how a quantum company should be. A waterfall that fills its own basin to the point that it meets its needs and the needs of its shareholders, but then lets the wealth it accumulates overflow into the common stream.
It's beautiful, Dana. And by the end, if you just compare this with everything in our lives, we are not able to be good human beings and provide for others if we are not able to provide to our family and ourselves first. So it's like you put the mask in yourself first in an airplane accident, and then you put the mask in the others. But I think that even going further, not in an emergency, but if you are able to understand how much is the wealth that you need, how much is that your shareholders or your family need, and you don't need to accumulate this wealth just to give to many generations, because it might be that the environment is not there if a business accumulates for the 3-4 generations, but then the environment will not be there. We will not even have maybe generations to come. And I think that this idea is beautiful because, yes, first is our business, because if our business is sustainable and you can provide a good result for the business, but in doing this, you're already thinking, what can I impact positively? And you know, Dana, from all of your books and mainly from the Quantum Leader, for me, there is one of the principles of the quantum organization that is to be deeper green. I think that is something that I really appreciate, because it comes also with the grandson of Warren Buffett, his book and his philosophy of corporate social value. He tells a lot that, okay, you do CSR, you do philanthropy, but then you are destroying everything to receive this, to have this profit, and then to have CSR in philanthropy. Why don't we use this philosophy of corporate social value? where you bring social impact into the strategy of the company. So when you are thinking, what is the business that I am in? What is the value that I give to the society, and why the society, the communities will need your service or your product? You develop this strategy in harmony. So I think right now, after COVID, it would be a very beautiful moment for everybody to rethink, and business leader to think, okay, from my business, how I was doing, how can I adjust my strategy so I will make profit, but at the same time, while making profit, how can I build into my strategy social impact wherever uh, I am doing my business? If they are able to start to bring this mindset and just to be aware, where is that I am, um, which are the countries, what is my business about, how can I make the community around even better, so if they develop, they will consume more, and I will be able to have more prosperity. I think that is these both end and these connections, no, Dana?